Hi, my name is Will Moore, and I'm going to give you a brief introduction to the OMERO.figure app. You can follow this presentation at the URL above, and that will give you access to the links in the presentation. I'll start with a brief introduction to what figures are, some of their features, and how those led to the design goals of OMERO.figure. I'll briefly describe the app itself, a little bit of technical background, and then give a demo of the software. So a figure is basically a collection of microscope images. We don't handle graphs in OMERO.figure yet. The microscope images are in a very customized layout on the page, with often some sections that are grids of images. On top of the images we have labels, scale bars, and regions of interest. To create this manually, you would start by exporting all the images you need from your image management or acquisition application, and you have to have a very good idea at the start all the images that you require for your figure. Then you need to import all these into Illustrator or Photoshop or whatever application you're using. You may need to crop the images and then align them on the page as needed, finally adding the scale bars, labels, and outwise. And there are some nice guidelines on this, with guidance on how to preserve the image quality, as well as some step-by-step guides. You can follow these links. So what's the problem with the manual approach? Well, it's principally very slow. I was a postdoc doing this a few years ago, and I know how long it takes. You need to export a lot of images at the start and have a very clear idea what they are. Another problem with exporting as TIFF is that you lose a lot of the original metadata that's associated with those images, as well as the full range of pixel data. And also there's no link between the figure once it's created. It's often very difficult to find the images that the figure came from. We aim to address some of these issues way back in July of 2010 with some figure scripts that would take a collection of images. So here's selecting them in the web client. It gives you a list of ways of exporting them, so a split view figure, and this is very quickly give you a customized type of figure. But this really lacked this kind of flexibility that you'd need to make a full figure. So the idea for OMERO.figure was to preserve the speed of export from OMERO scripts, but to give you the flexibility of arranging images just as you would wish on the page, where each panel would be fully customizable in the same way that the image viewer is. And you'd also be able to export the figure as a PDF or TIFF at the end. So this started as a personal side project back in 2013. We went through a stage of beta release where users in Dundee tested it, and then it was released in 2014. Then last year, a couple of major releases adding the most sort of requested features. So OMERO.figure is a web-based application that runs on the same framework as the web client. To install it, it's a case of downloading the application for the sysadmin, putting it on the Python path, and then running this configuration to add it to the web apps. Full details you can find at the OMERO.figure website. So the application is largely a JavaScript-based application that uses a lot of functionality provided by the OMERO server, accessing image data and rendered images in the same way as the web client does. It saves the file as a JavaScript format to OMERO file, and then uses the OMERO scripting service to export PDFs or TIFFs. It makes heavy use of the Backbone.js library, MVC library, to separate the model and view, and to construct the JavaScript-based model that's then saved to OMERO. And a number of other libraries provide some nice interaction and layouts for the user. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick demo of the software. You can access this demo from the OMERO.figure website, but I'm going to start by going to Nightshade. Okay, I'm going to do okay, and I'm going to work here on this until it's all done. Let me turn here. Okay, so I showed you the adding of images to a figure using their IDs, adjusting the layout, rendering, send index, scale bars, export as TIFF,